హాయ్ గైస్, వెల్కమ్ టు మనీ పవర్స్. లెట్స్ లెర్న్ సంథింగ్ న్యూ టుడే. ఈ వీడియోలో నీళ్ళు ఏదైతే స్ట్రాటజీ షేర్ చేయబోతున్నారో, ఐ పర్సనలీ బిలీవ్ మనం ఒకవేళ ఈ స్ట్రాటజీని ఫాలో అయ్యి నెక్స్ట్ 10-15 years ఈ థీమ్ని హోల్డ్ చేయగలిగినట్టయితే వీ కెన్ జనరేట్ సుపీరియర్ వెల్త్ ఇన్ అవర్ పోర్ట్ఫోలియో. కాకపోతే ప్రాబ్లం ఏంటంటే ఈ థీమ్లో ఇన్వెస్ట్ చేయడం ఈజీ, బట్ ఇన్వెస్ట్ చేసిన తర్వాత 10-15 years హోల్డ్ చేయడమే మేజర్ ఛాలెంజ్. ఎందుకంటే ఈ థీమ్కి అగేన్స్ట్గా, ఈ థీమ్లో ఉన్న స్టాక్స్కి అగేన్స్ట్గా మార్కెట్లో చాలా నాయిస్ ఉంటుంది. ఆ నాయిస్ని మనం ఇగ్నోర్ చేసి హోల్డ్ చేయగలిగినప్పుడే వీ కెన్ ఎంజాయ్ దట్ సుపీరియర్ వెల్త్ ఇన్ అవర్ పోర్ట్ఫోలియో. సో మీరు ఈ థీమ్ మీద కొంచెం కాన్సన్ట్రేటెడ్గా వినండి. ఎందుకంటే బికాస్ విన్నట్టయితే మనం ఆ కాన్ఫిడెన్స్ క్రియేట్ చేసుకోగలం. ఆ కాన్ఫిడెన్స్ వచ్చినప్పుడే మనం ఆ స్టాక్స్ని అంతలా హోల్డ్ చేయగలం. సో నీల్ తను ఫాలో అయ్యే సెకండ్ స్ట్రాటజీ, తన పోర్ట్ఫోలియో మేనేజ్ చేయడానికి ఫాలో అయ్యే సెకండ్ స్ట్రాటజీ ఏదైతే ఉంటుందో వీడియోలో క్లియర్గా ఎక్స్ప్లెయిన్ చేశారు. కొంచెం కాన్సన్ట్రేటెడ్గా వినండి. అండ్ అలాగే ఈ వీడియోకి కూడా నేను ఇస్తున్న టార్గెట్ లైక్స్ 10,000 likes. లెట్ మీ ప్లే ద సెకండ్ పార్ట్ నౌ. Neil, as I said, I've been following your Twitter handle from last 2 to 3 months. I saw you really like technology companies as well. Okay, why do you like tech, and what kind of percentage allocation you give it in your portfolio in tech companies?
Yeah, so we are the only one strategy in the PMS space which is doing technology plus special situation. Nobody else is doing this. The ideal split that we have in our PMS is 50-50. On an average day, we'll have 50-50, but sometimes it varies a little bit up and down. But on the whole, it's well divided. Why I like technology is a simple answer. I'll give you some. Everything that we do is based on facts and data. Every second that goes by, every second in the world, there are 3 new internet users who come on the internet for the first time. So this internet is the ground on which technology is thriving on. The internet is expanding so rapidly, it is unbelievable. And because of the internet expanding so rapidly, there are so many subspaces in which are related to the internet, like e-commerce, direct sales, marketing, social media influencing. There are so many different categories. And nowadays, because of that, the whole game of business has changed on its head. What used to work 15 years ago doesn't work at all today. Like if you want to do a sale today, you don't need to be a big company. You can be a normal person who makes shoes on his own and just goes on Instagram and starts to sell it. He will get some sales.
Agree.
So internet has empowered people, and that has changed everything. So now the big companies, some of the smart big companies, are realizing the potential of the internet and the usage of technology to leverage on the power of internet. So now these big companies are doing this and they're finding great success. The whole unorganized sector is losing big time to the organized sector. And that's what we have realized, that this technology boom is a super cycle. Like people say now that commodities are in a super cycle or this XYZ, they're all rubbish. There is no super cycle anywhere in that. There's one true super cycle, which is technology. The beauty of it is that a lot of the older people in the market don't recognize this. To recognize this, you need to be a young person. It's very different. The above 40, above 50 people live their lives in a very different way. The 20 and 50, between the 20 years and about 40 years live like us, we live in a different way. But the younger generation is completely different. They are aliens. We will not understand what they do, what they watch, what they eat. So now, thanks to the power of internet, it's very critical to reach out to these people. They are all on the internet.
True.
And they are different people altogether. So companies are realizing this, and the companies who realize this today are going to be the big companies of tomorrow. So, and this growth that they're getting, companies like Zomato and a lot of these like companies like Nykaa, which is not yet listed, it'll list soon. Then there is going to be a company like Bharat Pay, Razor Pay. Razor Pay may become a nifty company one day. Nykaa could also become a nifty company. A lot of these old nifty companies will exit, and these companies will enter the nifty soon. India will have its own technology index like Nasdaq in the next 10 to 15 years. So all these things are happening. It's crystal clear. So it makes no sense anymore to own a steel company or a paper company unless you're doing a trade. As an investment, it makes no sense. So if you want to have a 10-year, 15-year period where you're going to go on a big underlying theme, the theme is technology, where the is going to be sustainable earnings, structural earnings growth, and you're going to have no volatility in that earnings growth. Whether the economy grows 6% or 8% or 4%, something like Zomato's earnings will keep growing. I agree, Zomato is super expensive. Maybe it doesn't make sense to buy it at this price. Maybe you wait for a little bit of a dip. I'm not getting into the valuation, but Zomato's earnings, the top line, is going to grow for the next 10 years, probably at something like a 40-50% CAGR. I'll give you an example. Zomato has a revenue of 2,000 crores. There is a similar company in America called DoorDash.
Yes.
It has a revenue of 2 lakh crores. I'm converting into rupees. 2 lakh crores. And at that level of 2 lakh crores, this last quarter they came and said that I will grow 55%. So they are going from 2 lakh crores about 3 lakh crores in terms of revenue. Zomato is at 2,000 crores. Look at the runway. The runway is insane. I mean, these kind of companies will grow for the next 10 years. It's period. There is nothing else. I mean, of course, you cannot bet only on one company. You have to make a basket so that if one or two also don't do well, maybe Zomato doesn't do well. But if you make a basket of companies like a Zomato, like a Cartrade, Nykaa, Razorpay, Zerodha, all these things, if you put into the basket, and also the IT companies, the mid-cap growth IT company like Happiest Minds, Mastech, all those, everything put together in the basket, this kind of businesses, in my opinion, and I could be wrong, but I hope I'm not wrong, these kind of businesses will grow their revenue at a clip of more than 20-25% for the next 5 to 10 years. And that's what we need as investors. We need this kind of growth without the worry of volatility, sustainable structural growth. This is the reason we love technology so much, because I don't have to worry. If I buy a steel company today, I'm so worried. What will China do? What will the Fed do? I don't want to get into all those things. I want to be involved in non-cyclical businesses. And this is a structural story, technology. So this is a core part of our thinking.
Okay, Neil. See, if you look at traditional investment managers or people who keeps investing in equities, they really hate companies like Zomato, Car Trade, Paytm. I see all these loss-making technology companies. They hate it, and we see a lot of chaos in social media. Many new investors who are coming into market, by looking at those noises, they might avoid these businesses. How should they bring confidence in such companies, and what things they need to look at investing in, even in a loss making company?
So, firstly, as I explained earlier, it's not possible for, I mean, I don't want to be coming across as the wrong, it's not possible for people who are very old to understand how these young people are living life. These startups and these new age companies are getting it, the strategy exactly right, is that first, to capture this market, create a platform and not focus on profitability just now. So how investing styles have changed, the ways to do business have also changed. It's not important to focus on profits on day one. Business, the way to do business, the new way is to create a platform first. These tech companies are largely platform companies. You make a platform like your channel, for example. You are running a tech business yourself. MoneyPurse is a platform. So once people come on the platform, they know that Sai is doing such great interviews from all these big people. So you make a platform. So the same way, these companies are also making platforms. What they are doing is that they are increasing their expenses more to get more market share. Zomato can become profitable tomorrow if it wants to drop its marketing budget, and if it wants to grow sustainably at 15-18%. Zomato becomes profitable tomorrow, and nicely profitable. They don't want to do that. They want to become competition free. They want to not have the threat of these big, things like Amazon and all those things to come and dominate them. So they want to grow to a level where in the next 5-10 years they will become the giants, and they will not have to worry about these other conglomerates to kind take that market from them. So profitability in a sense is now, the whole game has changed. Everything has changed in this world. Profitability can come later, and this model, like how you said now, how these some of the people are discouraging people to look at technology. Unfortunately or fortunately, I have seen the data. The same is not that this is happening for the first time. The earth has been around the sun already. It happened in America already in 2004. Google or all these Netflix, they've all lost making, extremely expensive, you know so those investors did the exact same thing in America about 20 years ago or about 15 years ago. They all said, don't buy this, you buy US Steel or XYZ. But this cycle has repeated and is going to happen again in India. So again, it's not that you have to buy only one or two. That's why I say you have to buy a basket, because some companies may not do well. You have to
Yeah.
focus on them, and whichever is not doing well, you have to be quick to cut them out. But the winners, they will keep winning, and they will end up becoming nifty companies, and they may go from a 1 billion valuation, which is like a 7,000 crore valuation, they may get to 7 lakh crore valuation someday. This journey, investor cannot afford to miss. This is India's golden period of technology. You go to any village in India, you will
Yes.
find kids who don't have a road, but they're sitting and playing PUBG.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. In fact,
India,
I get a lot of viewership from small towns. Okay, where I see earlier financial education never used to reach them. People used to ignore them. Whereas now, because of internet, they just by click of a button. If they spend half an hour, they are able to learn the things which even metro people who are sitting in metro are doing that.
absolutely. So this is India's golden period. What, thanks to Reliance Geo, basically, a lot of these people have gotten connected. So we have to give a big thumbs up to Reliance's role in this. And see, I have no affiliation with Reliance whatsoever. I'm just saying, but they've actually done a good job. And this whole system that is, and also COVID helped. COVID has helped people to kind of get technologically more savvy. So this juggernaut is not going to stop. It's not that after COVID people will stop going on the internet to listen to a music. Now that you've learned, you're going to do it, and this is the starting point. And there are going to be people after 30 years, they are going to think back and introspect that at this time was the time where all these new companies started coming to IPO in India, like Zomato and Cartrade.com, Nika, and all the big lists. But I never thought about it, and I didn't get into it. While there will be other people, like how we hear stories of Infosys in 1990 and Reliance in 1990 and Hero Honda and all those things. People knew that they were there, but no one participated. Same way, the same story will happen after 20, 30 years in India. This digital
Agree.
revolution is not to be missed because the company is expensive currently. The rate at which these companies are growing, in 3 years, they will become cheap. So you have to sacrifice 1 or 2 years of return in order to get the next 15 years of return. And these companies will always remain expensive. So a typical value investor will never be able to buy it. They'll never understand it, and they'll always be sour grapes. So I
Neil,
say to the investors that you make up your own mind. If you like it, only then. But then it's better to kind of do it via investment managers instead of, if you're doing it for the first time, it's not advisable. Do it via somebody who's a manager.
okay. Neil, how many stocks you hold in a portfolio?
Typically, we have about 30 stocks in the portfolio.
30. Okay. And second thing, whenever in this series I interview mutual fund manager, I'll not have worry because when my subscribers are, they don't ask question because even a small guy can participate. But when I interview a PMS manager, the typical question comes is 50 lakh investment is not everybody can do that. So small investors, how they can participate if they want to participate in the portfolio which you are managing? Is there any option left?
Yes, so we have a small case. Now, this small case is a digital, it's a new revolution. It's like a digital advisory kind of business. So we have created a small case also. The name is Negen Opportunistic SIP Small Case. The idea is to replicate a similar strategy that we do in the PMS, where we do technology companies and we do special situations, and make this strategy available for retail investors. Because most of the retail investors don't have access
Yep.
to PMS type of fund managers. So we thought, why not we reach out to them and make a nice product, which again is not a it's not a momentum or trading or speculation. There's nothing like that. It's a proper investment product where the idea is to compound the money over a long period of time. Whoever wants to take this product should understand that markets will always have volatility. You cannot escape volatility in market. But if you own a bunch of very good companies managed by a decent fund manager, that kind of portfolio can keep appreciating for long periods. And this is what I wanted to offer. It's more than an opportunity to make money. It's more that as a mission for me to kind of do something for the retail community. So that's the reason we launched this small case. Is one of India's best performing small cases right now. We
Oh,
started about
perfect.
9 months
Can I get a
ago.
screenshot of the performance post the call so that I'll display it in the video?
Yes, sure, I can.
Okay.
You can even go to negen.smallcase.com. On the
Okay.
front page, just click on there'll be a chart. You can click on live and you'll get the since we went live, our performance versus the index, you can compare with the Nifty, because we are a large cap. We have more than 50% in large cap, and we've really outperformed the Nifty in a big way. And we've done it without trading, like lots of churning. It's a very low churn product.
Okay. How much minimum investment will come? Anybody wants
So
to know?
many different small cases have different minimum investment. In ours, thanks to the change in the portfolio composition, we started as a minimum investment of 65,000. Now it's become minimum investment 90,000.
Okay.
So any client who wants to do our small case has to start with 90,000. But ideally, it's advisable that they have over a period of time invest 2 to 3 lakhs.
Okay. How many stocks will be there in that small case portfolio, Neil?
Right now, we have 22 companies.
22 companies. So somebody might be comparing with mutual fund. They would have confused in a mutual fund SIP. I can start 1,000 rupees. No, in small case, when you have to buy one stock, even if you want to buy that one stock or the percentage of holding which Neil recommends. So you need to invest that much amount. And it's a one-time investment. If they want to add, they can add more, right? There is no compulsion that they need
So
to add the similar amount on monthly basis.
the first investment has to be 90,000, which is the minimum
Okay.
investment size. The second investment can be as low as 15,000.
Okay.
And then the algorithm will buy the best stocks on its own for the
Okay.
investor. And there is no compulsory to do SIP. What we follow is a manual SIP. I inform the client that this is a good time to add money.
Hmm.
So, like in a mutual fund, what happens? It's on the client's own thinking that, when should I add money? The mutual fund manager is never going to reach out to his customers and say, "Okay, now is the time to buy." We thought we'll take a different approach. We communicate with all our clients and we tell them that this may be a good time to do some more SIP. So the name of the small case is the Negen opportunistic SIP small case. Opportunistic SIP is basically whenever the market or our small case falls by 5%, we add a little bit of money. Now, little bit of money can be depending on the investor how much he wants to add. But the advice from us is that if you keep doing SIP over time into good quality companies and make it a habit for life, and not bother about exiting stocks and entering stocks and worry about the markets ups and down, you will make immense money. This is India's time. India is on a growth path. We have great, outstanding promoters. We have good regulations. For a developing country, we have great regulations. And if an investor buys good quality businesses and just sticks with a good habit of SIP without getting into the issues of trading and speculation, they make good money over long periods of time. They can change their family's trajectory of wealth.
Okay. Guys, Neil's small case link, I'll drop it in comment section. If anybody is interested, you can check it out. There is no compulsion. I don't have any affiliation or this is not a promotional video. So let me confirm it in front of Neil itself. It's an educational video. If anybody is interested, you can check it out. Otherwise, you can learn from this video. And additionally, Neil, I saw some of your tweets. You started a platform called this startup platform. Okay, how do you pick up a startup company and how do you invest there?
So, as being very interested in technology myself, like we have zero people in sales in our company. We have no salespeople at all. So this is a new way of, so how I understand doing business has changed. We also understand because we've seen it. We have zero Salesforce. My Salesforce is Twitter and my Salesforce is my newsletter. And is so amazing is that I now am able to understand the technological revolution that is going on in India. But now we have to do a second level thinking. You get access to Zomato when it becomes a 1 lakh crore market cap company. Why not we give ourselves a chance in life to kind of get to the new upcoming companies and invest in them? Before anything, one has to understand the startups are extremely risky product. It's a very likelihood that you may invest in a startup and it can just go bust and
Yeah.
full capital loss can happen. I'm not advising startups for retail investors at all. It's once you grow and become cash flow positive at your end, startups is to be considered as an asset class where you don't have to buy only one or two, invest in one or two. You have to invest in a bunch of 30, 40 startups over a period of 5 to 10 years and give yourself a chance in life to change everything in terms of your wealth creation journey. A startup can change everything for you if you get it right. And if you get even one or two decent startups in your portfolio, it can take care of everything. all your expenses for life, all your losses that you may have made here or there. So startups, according to me, are very important part of portfolio. What I do is, out of my net worth, I have decided I'll put between 5 and 10% in startups. But then
Okay.
I have a very high risk tolerance, and it may not be suitable for everyone. So you have to consult with your financial advisor first, and then get into something like this. Our startup platform is only for HNI and ultra HNI clients. So if anybody wants to discuss offline, we can discuss.
Okay.
But it's before anything, I again like to. I'm not doing trying to do marketing of the product. Startups are
Hmm.
very risky,
No, on personal
but
note, I'm asking that, see, because there is no such platform available. As a investor, if I want to invest in a startup, I don't think it
there are
is
no
easy for
platforms.
me because it is very tough. So I wanted to know how the platform is working, how you have
Yeah.
created such platform, and what could be the minimum investment if somebody like me wanted to participate. What could be the minimum investment which will come?
So generally, startups are these new companies. So the minimum investment per, so it's like all angel investing. So the
Yeah.
minimum investment size is between 2 lakhs to 5 lakhs, depending on which
Okay.
company is there. The
Okay.
company sets the minimum ticket size. So typically between 2 and 5 lakhs per startup. The platform is, you're right. Normally, a normal investor will not get access. So that's why we thought, why not create a platform where our investors who are investing in the PMS can also get access to a different kind of product, which is suitable for ultra HNIs and HNIs, where they can participate in these kind of startups. But now, who has the time to look at these, 100 and 200 and 500 startups that are coming up in India? So we thought, why not we offer this as a service to our clientele at a discretionary? So it depends on the client's discretion. We provide an idea. If they like it, they can invest in it. They have to directly invest in the company, and the company gives shares to them. What is currently happening is that investment bankers are offering startups. Investment bankers are salespeople. We are the first investment managers who are actual investors offering investable ideas to
Hmm.
clients. Of course, it's at the client's discretion, but we are offering this idea is investment worthy. So we funnel it down and we put it on a platter for anybody who wants to invest in startups.
So at your end, you filter it out, right? Many
We
startups
filter
which
it
are
out. It's very important because the
okay.
ultra HNI guys who are running companies, or even people, normal people who are doing jobs, how will you remove so many hours to kind of screen through so many startups? So somebody has to curate the list and present to in a nice way. So we
Hmm.
do that job.
Okay. Have you guys invested in Nika? I'm so interested in the business.
I tried a lot, but no shares available.
Oh,
So we have
okay.
to wait for the IPO.
Okay.
But there
Okay.
are so many amazing businesses. It's an exciting time like none other. And I'm telling you, in the next 10 years, India will have its own technology index like NASDAQ. People are not believers in this tech story, which is even better for us,
Yeah,
so that we get opportunity for ourselves.
exactly. Neil, my questions are done. If you want to share something, you can share with the young investors. And if there is anything which blogs or books you read, you follow, if you want to guide the young viewer who is watching this video, you
Can
can
I
share.
talk about my own newsletter?
Yeah, yeah, you can. You can. There
Yeah.
is no issue.
So what we have done is that what I noticed rather was that there is no readable material online. If you want to
Hmm.
understand a decent demerger or a spin-off or something happened in special situation, you cannot go on Google and type. There will be no information.
Hmm.
So we thought we'll help out the investor community, and we started our own newsletter. And this newsletter is India's only newsletter, which is
Hmm.
a bi-weekly. I send one on Monday and I send one on Friday. And I
Hmm.
cover everything on special situations and technology.
Hmm.
So if an investor wants to learn about special situations and technology as a space, our newsletter is free. Huh? There is no cost whatsoever. It's absolutely free. And once they register to this newsletter, it'll come by email to them. They don't have to do
Hmm.
anywhere. They don't have to go on a blog and type the URL, nothing. It'll come every Monday morning, Friday morning on their inbox,
Hmm.
and they will learn. Once you come on the newsletter, there is no more need to try to learn on your own anywhere. It'll information will come to you, and you will become experts over time in special situations and technology, startups, everything that we focus on. So this is we are doing as for a benefit of the investor community actually.
Superb. Neil, is there any books which you like?
I like to keep things very simple. I don't like to do complex things because investing is a very simple thing. The books that I recommend are the Warren Buffett books, Peter Lynch. There's a book called One Up on Wall Street. I think this was the second book that I read about the market, and it changed everything for me. One Up on Wall Street is the best book ever, I think, in investing. It's very simple for a person who's starting out. It will change everything that you know about the market. I mean, your mentality will change. So One Up on Wall Street, definitely. Then if you want to understand special situations in detail, then there is a book, The Little Book That Beats the Market. It's by Joel Greenblatt.
Yeah.
And You Can Be a Stock Market Genius. There are two books. So these two books are, of course, but this is for little more advanced investors. For the beginners, the Peter Lynch book, One Up on Wall Street, is the best book that there is.
Done, Neil. Thanks a lot for taking out your time. It was really wonderful conversation. I really enjoyed. I'm sure
Yeah, I
my
didn't know
subscribers.
where 51 minutes have gone. I didn't realize. It was a great conversation.
Thank you. Thanks for taking out your time.
Okay,
Done.
buddy. It was great
Bye
talking
bye.
to you. Take care.
Bye
Bye.
bye bye bye. నీళ్ళు ఈ వీడియోలో ఎక్స్ప్లెయిన్ చేసిన విధంగా తన పోర్ట్ఫోలియోని మేనేజ్ చేయడానికి 2 స్ట్రాటజీస్ మాత్రం ఫాలో అవుతామని చెప్తున్నారు. ఒకటి స్పెషల్ సిచ్యువేషన్స్, మనకు ఫస్ట్ పార్ట్లో ఎక్స్ప్లెయిన్ చేశారు కదా, మీరు ఒకవేళ వీడియో చూడనట్టయితే ఎండ్ కార్డ్లో వస్తుంది. చాలా ఇంట్రెస్టింగ్ స్ట్రాటజీ అది, తప్పకుండా ఫాలో అవడానికి ప్రయత్నించండి. సెకండ్, టెక్నాలజీ స్టాక్స్. ఈ టెక్నాలజీ కంపెనీస్ విషయంకి వచ్చినట్టయితే మన కళ్ళ ముందే చూస్తున్నాం. ఇంటర్నెట్ యాక్చువల్లీ చాలా చేంజ్ తీసుకొస్తుంది. సింపుల్ విషయం మాట్లాడుకోవాలంటే, మీరు ఈ వీడియోని ఒక మెట్రో సిటీ హైదరాబాద్లో కానీ లేకపోతే వేరే అదర్ సిటీస్లో ఉండి చూస్తూ ఉండొచ్చు. మీతో పాటు సిమిలర్ టైంలోని ఒక చిన్న ఊర్లో ఉన్న వ్యక్తి కూడా ఈ వీడియో చూసి తన నాలెడ్జ్ని గెయిన్ చేసుకోగలుగుతున్నారు. ఇంటర్నెట్ ఆ చేంజ్ తీసుకొస్తుంది. దీనివల్ల బేసికలీ ఇంటర్నెట్ బేస్డ్ కంపెనీస్ ఏవైతే ఉంటాయో, ఇంటర్నెట్ బేస్డ్ కంపెనీస్ చాలా ర్యాపిడ్గా గ్రో అవుతున్నాయి. సో ఇంటర్నెట్ బేస్డ్ కంపెనీస్లో మనం ఇన్వెస్ట్ చేసినట్టయితే మనకి వీ కెన్ జనరేట్ లాట్ ఆఫ్ వెల్త్ ఇన్ నెక్స్ట్ 10-15 years. ఎందుకంటే బికాస్ ఈ కంపెనీస్ ఒక గ్రోత్ ఇమ్మెన్స్ అండ్ మ్యాసివ్ గ్రోత్ ఉండబోతుంది. కాకపోతే ప్రాబ్లం ఏంటంటే ఈ కంపెనీస్ మనకి చీప్గా దొరకవు. ఎక్స్పెన్సివ్గానే కొనాల్సి వస్తుంది. ఎక్స్పెన్సివ్గా కొన్న తర్వాత మనకు 1 to 2 years రిటర్న్ సంపాదించలేకపోవచ్చు. బట్ కానీ గ్రోత్ రేట్ ఏదైతే ఉంటుందో, ఈ గ్రోత్ రేట్ వల్ల బేసికలీ వీళ్ళు ఏదైతే ఎక్స్పెన్సివ్గా ఉన్నారో 2-3 years తర్వాత చీప్గా అయిపోతే ఈ స్టాక్స్ అన్ని వీళ్ళు ఎక్స్ప్లెయిన్ చేస్తున్నారు. అండ్ అలాగే ఈ స్టాక్స్లో ఇన్వెస్ట్ చేయడం ఈజీ, హోల్డ్ చేయడం కష్టం. హోల్డ్ చేయడం ఎందుకు కష్టం అంటే బేసికల్ మార్కెట్లో చాలా నాయిస్ ఉంటుంది. ఎందుకంటే ఇవి లాస్ మేకింగ్ కంపెనీస్ అని, ఎక్స్పెన్సివ్గా ట్రేడ్ అవుతున్న స్టాక్స్ అని చెప్పి చాలా నాయిస్ ఉంటుంది. సిమిలర్ థింగ్ నీళ్ళు ఏం చెప్తున్నారంటే వెస్టర్న్ వరల్డ్లో కూడా జరిగింది. గూగుల్ కానీ నెట్ఫ్లిక్స్ కానీ అవి లిస్ట్ అయినప్పుడు ఇవి లాస్ మేకింగ్ బిజినెస్, ఎక్స్పెన్సివ్గా ఉన్నాయని చెప్పి చాలామంది ఇగ్నోర్ చేశారు. బట్ కానీ వీ నో ఆ స్టాక్స్ ఎంతలా సుపీరియర్ వెల్త్ క్రియేట్ చేసాయో. సిమిలర్ థింగ్ మన ఇండియాలో కూడా జరుగుతుంది. సో 10-15 years బ్యాక్ మనకి వెస్టర్న్ కంట్రీస్లో ఏదైతే జరిగిందో అదే మన కంట్రీలో జరుగుతుంది. కాబట్టి మనం ఈ ర్యాలీని మిస్ అవ్వకూడదు. యాజ్ ఏ యంగ్ ఇన్వెస్టర్స్ ఎవరైతే ఫాలో అవుతున్నారో, ఇంటర్నెట్ బేస్డ్ బిజినెసెస్ ఏవైతే ఉంటాయో, ఇవి ఏవైతే వెల్త్ క్రియేట్ చేయబోతున్నాయి నెక్స్ట్ 10-15 yearsలో, ఈ వెల్త్ క్రియేషన్ జర్నీని మిస్ అవ్వకుండా ఫాలో అయినట్టయితే మాత్రం వీ కెన్ క్రియేట్ లాట్ ఆఫ్ వెల్త్ అని నేను ఎక్స్ప్లెయిన్ చేస్తున్నారు. సో మార్కెట్లో ఇంటర్నెట్ బేస్డ్ బిజినెసెస్ రిలేటెడ్గా ఏదైతే నాయిస్ ఉంటుందో ఆ నాయిస్ని ఇగ్నోర్ చేసండి. బిలీవ్ ఇన్ దిస్ స్ట్రాటజీ, దిస్ థీమ్. ఈ థీమ్ బిలీవ్ చేసి మనం ఇన్వెస్ట్ చేసినట్టయితే వీ కెన్ జనరేట్ లాట్ ఆఫ్ వెల్త్. కాకపోతే ప్రాబ్లం ఏంటంటే ఇంటర్నెట్ బేస్డ్ బిజినెస్లో రిస్క్ కూడా ఉంటుంది డెఫినెట్గా. సో అందుగురించి అని 1-2 స్టాక్స్లో బదులు మనం ఇంటర్నెట్ బేస్డ్ కంపెనీస్ ఏవైతే ఉంటాయి, లిస్ట్ అయ్యే ప్రతి కంపెనీలోని, అంటే మంచి డీసెంట్ మేనేజ్మెంట్ ఉన్న ప్రతి కంపెనీలో ఇన్వెస్ట్ చేసినట్టయితే ఒక బాస్కెట్ ఆఫ్ పోర్ట్ఫోలియో క్రియేట్ చేసుకున్నప్పుడు కొన్ని కంపెనీస్ బర్స్ట్ అయిపోయినా, కొన్ని కంపెనీస్ మాత్రం హిట్ అయినట్టయితే మాత్రం అవి క్రియేట్ చేసే వెల్త్ ఇలా ఉండదు. మనం చూసాం కదా, అమెజాన్ కానీ గూగుల్ కానీ నెట్ఫ్లిక్స్ కానీ ఎలాంటి వెల్త్ క్రియేట్ చేసి. సో సిమిలర్ థింగ్ మన ఇండియాలో కూడా జరగబోద్ది. సో మన ఇండియాలో ఇంటర్నెట్ ద్వారా ఏదైతే గ్రోత్ రాబోతుందో ఈ గ్రోత్ని మీరు మిస్ అవ్వకండి. దట్స్ ఆల్ అబౌట్ దిస్ వీడియో గైస్. మీరు ఒకవేళ ఇంటర్వ్యూలో ఫస్ట్ పార్ట్ చూడనట్టయితే ఫస్ట్ పార్ట్ వీడియో మీకు ఇక్కడ ఎండ్ కార్డ్లో వస్తుంది, మిస్ అవ్వకుండా చూడడానికి ప్రయత్నించండి. అండ్ అలాగే నీళ్ళతో పాటు మన ఛానల్లోని వేరే అదర్ మార్కెట్లో ఉన్న ఎక్స్పర్ట్స్ అండ్ సీనియర్ పీపుల్ని తీసుకొచ్చి ఇంటర్వ్యూ చేసాం. మీరు ఒకవేళ మన ఛానల్ కొత్తగా వచ్చి ఆ ప్లేలిస్ట్ని ఫాలో అవట్లేనట్టయితే కంప్లీట్ ప్లేలిస్ట్ మీకు ఇక్కడ దొరుకుతుంది. మీ ప్లేలిస్ట్లో ఫాలో అయినట్టయితే డెఫినెట్లీ యూ లెర్న్ లాడ్ ఆఫ్ థింగ్స్. ఎందుకంటే బికాస్ వాళ్ళు ఎవరైతే ఎక్స్పర్ట్స్ ఉన్నారో వాళ్ళ 10-15-20 years కెరియర్లో నేర్చుకున్న స్ట్రాటజీస్ ఏవైతే ఉంటాయో అవన్నీ ఇంటర్వ్యూస్లో షేర్ చేశారు. సో వాళ్ళు ఆ 15-20 yearsలో నేర్చుకున్న థింగ్స్ అని మనం యాక్చువల్లీ 1-2 hours స్పెండ్ చేయడం ద్వారా నేర్చుకోగలమాట. సో ఆపర్చునిటీని అయితే మిస్ అవ్వకుండా ఫాలో అవడానికి ప్రయత్నించండి. అండ్ ఈ వీడియోని ఇప్పటివరకు లైక్ చేయనట్టయితే తప్పకుండా లైక్ చేయండి. అండ్ ఈ వీడియో మీ ఫ్రెండ్స్ అండ్ ఫ్యామిలీ మెంబర్స్ హెల్ప్ఫుల్ అవుతుందంటే వాళ్ళు తప్పకుండా షేర్ చేయండి. అండ్ మీరు ఇదే ఫస్ట్ టైం మన మనీ పర్ ఛానల్కి వచ్చి ఛానల్ సబ్స్క్రైబ్ చేయనట్టయితే ఛానల్ లోగో మీద క్లిక్ చేసి ఛానల్ సబ్స్క్రైబ్ చేస్తూ పక్కన బెల్ ఐకాన్ ఆల్ నోటిఫికేషన్స్ యాక్టివేట్ చేసుకోండి. నేను సాయి కృష్ణ, మరొక ఇంట్రెస్టింగ్ వీడియోతో కలుస్తాను. టిల్ దెన్ హ్యావ్ ఫన్.